Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in and joining me again today. This video is going to be a little bit different from the normal type, so no running info today, though I will be running later this morning, and to be honest with you, I can't wait to get out there and smash my 10k record. And before I get into that, I just wanted to say happy anniversary, Mrs. Miller. 31 years today. Wow, what an amazing 31 years, and thank you for everything you've done for me, especially during the hard part, which is me with dementia. I know I'm probably like impossible to live with, but I do love you, and I promise, I'll do my best. So today I'm going to be talking about dementia, in particular the struggle people with dementia have accessing memories. And some say, don't they, that memories are what define them, and that's how they kind of like think of themselves, Now, I'd like you to try something for a minute. I want you to imagine waking up one day and not being able to remember anything. Having no memory of your wedding, the children being born, and all those special moments you cherish and that truly do define you. That's what it's like, basically, for someone with dementia. And that's what I've had to come to terms with and live with for the last 5.5 years. And you know what? Sometimes I wonder how I keep it together, because the pain is just too much. And if I think if I was more courageous, I wouldn't be here. The pain is just too much for one person to bear. And this is especially true when people act negatively towards you. I assume that I've done something wrong, even though I have no recollection of an event. And also, people also say that I've lost the ability to show empathy or love, but the hardest part is not feeling loved by anyone, and having that, how do I describe it, that feeling of worthlessness that never goes away. Now, the purpose of this video isn't to gain sympathy. To be honest, I'm completely beyond that now. It's to help family members of people with dementia understand why we act like we do. Well, I can try my best anyway. In my previous video on how to run a 10k, I struggled to talk, and as a result I had to delete that video and keep it and create another one. Now, the reason I gave was because of brain fog, so this video is actually about that. You might have heard people refer to it before, but what does it actually mean, especially with people with dementia? So obviously I can't speak for everyone, as all people with dementia experience the symptoms differently, but what I can do is explain what it's like for me. The use of the word fog is actually pretty appropriate, but before I explain why, I want to talk a little bit about the subject of recalling memories. And while you've probably never thought of it this way, because the process becomes automatically with no conscious effort, everything is a memory, not just events, but also words and numbers. To make this more understandable, I'll give a brief overview of how you access information. Ordinarily, this process happens at the speed of light, almost. When reminded of an event, you access your mind, and a picture appears, which you interpret and describe in words. Like I said, it happens that quickly that you do it without thinking about it. You access it. I ask the mind to get the memory, and just like that it appears. So the fog, I call it fog, and I guess everyone else does, because it feels like there's something in my mind that obscures information. I know the info is there. I can see it sort of like moving around behind the fog. There's just something blocking me from seeing it like you do. Access it in a memory is like driving in fog, really. You sort of know where you're going, but you can't see or define actual items down the road, you know. You can see the road ahead, but you can't see like a tree or say a bird at the side of the road. Another way of explaining it, from my experience, is I can sort of see shadows moving behind the fog, but they never form into something I can understand or explain. So I suppose, like, if someone like says something about something that's happened in the past, I know instinctively in my head that what they're saying is true, but I can't actually put my finger on it, if that makes sense. So, the real world, that is actually a real world example of the brain fog. So, I guess I could put it like, so in a way that you'd maybe understand is, imagine you're with your family and they're all discussing an event that happened in the past that should have some great meaning to you, and as you're there, your loved ones, you believe what they're saying, and somehow you know that it's true. But despite this, the memory remains completely unavailable. The problem with this is that the story you hear becomes your new memory of that event. So my wife Amanda talking about the children being born becomes my memory of the event. Well, that's true in a way, but obviously in the same way as other memories, that vanishes too. So, you're always like lost. We're living in a perpetual world of like remembering someone else's memory and then forgetting it. To be honest, that's how it used to be since the dementia I've got has progressed a little in the time since diagnosis. The fog is actually gone now. It's replaced with what I can only describe as almost complete emptiness. When I look in my mind, similar to how when you look in your mind, there's nothing there but a void. Nothing, completely empty of like information. And so, how do I like carry on every day? I believe that how the brain fog sort of like, and that problem accessing memories, how that is seen in me, of our habits. I guess the best way I can explain this is with another driving analogy. I passed my driving test when I was 17, and I love driving, and I've always loved driving, and so I do it a lot. So I've driven almost every day for 50 years. I've even driven HGV for a living, so I know how many miles you can put in a year. I mean, as a professional driver, I used to put in about 1 million miles a year. So, you know, I know as a non-HGV driver, I guess I've driven about 10 million miles of driving. And there becomes a point that you've done something for so long, it becomes a habit that you can't like do anything different. So for dementia, the same applies to being in the world. So with dementia, the habit of how I act remains, which is why I sometimes struggle to talk coherently. I see the words when I'm recording a video. I see the words behind the camera, but instead of reciting those words, what comes out of my mouth is a sentence that I might have used quite a lot in the past. For example, you know, I.e. a habit. I might. So how does that like kind of like? Yeah. So I might read from the page behind the camera the words. This is really easy to understand, but I speak the words. This is information. I know that's very strange. It doesn't really explain anything, to be honest with you, but that's what it's like. I can't explain how reading the words, this is really easy to understand, comes out of my mouth as this is information. I mean, that's not a real world example because I can't recall it, but I know I say words that I don't mean to say. The same also applies with answering questions. I can be listening intently to someone speaking and my response won't make any sense. Not even to me. I believe it's because the information they relayed has been lost from memory almost immediately. And for some reason that I can't explain, the mind kind of like does its best to imagine what that person has said to me, and then the answer that comes out isn't anything like what they're supposed to be. Yeah. That's actually a good example, to be honest with you. It really happens, thankfully. What's more normal is having no memory of anything that happened 2 days ago. If pushed, I can just about remember what happened yesterday, but the day after that, no memory at all. Unless it was what I've described as what I can describe as an important memory for. So, for example, when visiting the doctors with my daughter a couple of weeks ago, I saw a really close friend I've not seen for ages, Wally. I used to work for him years ago when I was a young boy in his pub. See, I can remember that. And I can also remember, seeing Wally in the doctors. But I can't remember what I had for dinner. What day is it today? Wednesday. I can't remember what I had for dinner on Monday at all. In fact, I know I went out for a run and I hurt my toe, but I can't remember anything else. That's primarily the reason for making videos on YouTube and having a website. They're reminders for me, but more importantly, they're memories for the kids. So I hope this video makes more sense to you than it does to me. If you have any questions about dementia, I'll do my best to answer them. I might not be medically trained in the subject, but I've lived this nightmare for nearly 6 years, and I have insights that other people will be, clueless about, even doctors, which is another reason why that annoys me so much that the dementia charities haven't kind of engaged in a meaningful way. But anyway, that's another subject for another day. I hope you liked the video. I'm not even sure if any of this will be helpful, but I do try. If you like, please leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.